hey, it's me. Before the video starts, I want to let you know that halfway through the video, the camera goes out for like a couple minutes. Do not be alarmed. It does come back on, okay? And don't forget to leave a like. Let's get to the video. And we back. Now, y'all knew this video was about to happen, man. The other day, Paul George was traded to the Clippers to team up with Kawhi Leonard, and that got the future of the Oklahoma City Thunder kind of in limbo. You know, so today we're hitting the reset button on the OKC Thunder, and it should be a lot of fun. If you've been living under a rock, Paul George was traded for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Gallinari, 4 unprotected first rounders, 2 pick swaps, and then the Miami Heat pick from like 2021. Something insane, like the most draft picks traded in a single trade like almost ever. So it should be a lot of fun to reset this team. Now, of course, this is what our roster looking like. We have Russell Westbrook, of course, at the top of the top. And out of respect for Russell Westbrook, I'm trading him, right? I have nothing but respect for him to stay in the small market. Even when KD left, he was like, you know what? This is my home. I'm going to re-sign, and I want to somehow get OKC to a championship. But if we're hitting the reset, we have to trade him. Because this current put-together team is not great. Is it good enough to make the playoffs? They might. Because when he won his MVP, it wasn't really much for him to do. I mean, it wasn't really much help for him, but these are the numbers he put up, and he won MVP. But if we're hitting a hard reset, we have to trade Russell Westbrook. And honestly, him being 30 years old, I would like to see him go and compete. I don't want to keep him in OKC when we won't be good for a few years, wasting some of his time. So we will trade Russell Westbrook, man. Fashion icon Russell Westbrook, former MVP. But this is what the rest of the roster looking like. Y'all know I'm a big Shai Gilgeous-Alexander fan, so I'm excited to have him during this reset and this rebuild. And then the rest is looking like this. We probably will trade, well, we 100% will trade Russell Westbrook. We might trade Steven Adams, and we might trade Gallinari because he's on the last year of his deal. So he's probably valuable somewhere. But the first thing is finding this Russell Westbrook trade. There's a few teams that I think will be interested. I'm going to say this. I want to try to keep this video relatively realistic, but you may see some stuff in here that might not be. Because if we're hitting a hard reset, it's going to be tough for us to win a championship without us doing some crazy type of trades, you know? But listen, you know, the Clippers front office must be watching the videos because everybody like Kenny, it's unrealistic to trade 4 first-round picks. Nope, not anymore because the Clippers just did that, all right? But one of the teams I thought would be interesting is, of course, the Miami Heat. It has been rumored since the Paul George trade went down, what is a team that could use Russell Westbrook? And the Miami Heat were the first ones to come up because they have expiring contracts, which the OKC Thunder can like. And they have some intriguing young players. So the first trade I thought of was Goran Dragic. And Point Justice. No, Heat fans. I know y'all already disliking the video. Please don't do that. Actually, pause. Leave a like on this video. We're still doing that experiment where I remind you to leave a like. So leave that like. But Point Justice, listen, he's what, 23 years old at this point. He's under a very decent contract. And if we're hitting the reset button, he's the type of guy I would like to have on my team. But as far as the Miami Heat goes, this addition to this team, y'all got Jimmy Butler, which is great. Jimmy Butler's a very good NBA player. But this addition is a playoff team, but not a championship contender. And if you get Russell Westbrook, maybe you can make some noise. We'll also give you Nerlens Noel, who's 25 years old. He can be the backup power or backup center. And you give us this pick, top 10 protected, in case y'all don't make the playoffs. Could I have got more? I probably could have got more. That was just very, very easy. Whatever, though. All right, we're hitting a hard reset. Now, with that trade, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 first-round picks in the next 4 years. That's something for me to be very excited about, all right? So our team is looking like this at the moment. Justice Winslow is going to slide into that small forward spot. We have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Andre Roberson, who I probably would trade to. Goran Dragic, who I probably is going to flip to. So we have some players that I can trade. Like, let's go ahead and look at the trade block. We're going to put Gallinari up there. We're going to put Steven Adams. We're going to put Goran Dragic. I'm willing to keep Dennis Schroeder around to be our backup. That's cool with me. Andre Roberson. Let's look at what Gallinari's trade value is at the moment. See if we could get some young prospects in return for him. Because now that the Warriors are gone, the league is kind of open at this point. You know what I'm saying? So if somebody want a guy like Gallinari who's 85 overall, he's 31 years old, he just had a career year. If you want to compete, he's the type of guy. Why is Jared Culver's name spelled with a K in this? So we have a deal. We're going to send Gallinari to Boston, which would be pretty cool. Also with Andre Roberson, we're going to get back Gordon Hayward and a first-round pick. Yeah, we're stacking up on those picks. But the reason we're doing this trade is because Gordon Hayward, obviously coming back from his injury, didn't have a great season. And why is he averaging 2 points per... Oh, because he broke his ankle. It's just disgusting. But we're going to do this trade. They get Gallinari to run their power forward. So now their lineup is going to look like Kemba, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Gallinari, and Enes Kanter. I think that's pretty solid. So they got an upgrade, and then they also get a good backup shooting guard / small forward in Andre Roberson, and we get another first-round pick to add to the team. All right, now Steven Adams may be a harder one to trade because most teams have a good center, and they don't need another one. I don't know if Steven Adams is going to come off somebody's bench, but we'll take a look at what the trade market is. You know what? We will send him back to Phoenix. We're going to get Tyler Johnson and unprotected second for it. You see how we bringing up those expiring contracts? So we're looking like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Alec Burks, Justice Winslow, Gordon Hayward, and Steven Adams. Off the bench, we have Schroeder, Ferguson, who actually I think I want to start as shooting guard. Ferguson. Tyler Johnson, Diallo. Yeah, our team is bad, but that is a good thing because we want a high draft pick. So this is what our team is looking like going into the season. Oh, one thing I want to do is go to player mentorship, and our young guys that I like a lot, like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, we're going to have him be mentored by Dennis Schroeder so he can get better. Actually, I'm going to make him a floor general, and then Justice Winslow, yeah, he's going to get these badges from Gordon Hayward. All right, so our two young guys should be something nice. I'm just going to say them. We'll probably be in the lottery, hopefully be in the lottery, actually. And I'll be back. So, James Harden won MVP. Ja Morant won Rookie of the Year. Sixth man went to Larry Nance Jr. Giannis Defensive Player of the Year. Steven Adams, our boy, wins Most Improved Player. He averaged 17 and about 14. That's insane numbers. Congratulations. And then Brad Stevens wins Coach of the Year. See that trade I sent them? What did I get him? I gave him Gallinari. And they ended up being a better team than when Kyrie and Al Horford was there. See, look, I'm being the GM for Chris Paul and James Harden, all NBA first team. 20 points per game, 12 assists, 2 steals. Oh my God. Why is 34-year-old Chris Paul better than 28-year-old Chris Paul? That's insane. Second team All-NBA, Kyrie's there, Kevin Durant's there. And then we have, of course, the both Lakers players. And then third team has Ben Simmons. John Collins averaged about 20 and 12. That's insane. And Rudy Gobert, third team. So we don't have Kawhi or Paul George making all NBA teams. That's interesting. I wonder how many wins they ended up with. They ended up as the 4 seed. Okay, but let's take it one step at a time. Let's take a look at our team after this first season. We saw Steven Adams destroy the league. Oh, everybody else is not necessarily great. But that makes sense because we didn't have scoring in our starting lineup. Like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is not a scorer. Justice Winslow is not really a scorer. So it makes sense. It's just, eye-opening when you see it. But now, taking a look, not at power rankings, but the conferences. So the Clippers end up as a 4 seed and the Lakers end up as a 3 seed. Clippers line up. They end up starting Lou Williams at point guard. They made a trade for Gorgie Jang. Who's running this team now? What's going on? And the Warriors don't make the playoffs. They won 42 games, but that was not enough. And then now East, there are 2 teams under 500. They make the playoffs. All right, guys. Kemba did not have a crazy good season. They just played all around good team basketball. So I'm going to simulate, see who wins the championship. Also just noticed that the Heat didn't make the playoffs. Let's take a look at Russell Westbrook and company. I just noticed that. Oh, they won 32 games. That is not good. Russell Westbrook put up 22, 8-8. Jimmy Butler put up 20, 5-3. They ended up with Jabari Parker somehow. Oof. I was about to say, every team that we made a trade with ended up making the playoffs except for that Heat team. So we made a trade with the Phoenix Suns. We gave them back Goran Dragic. They made the playoffs. We did a trade with the Boston Celtics. They ended up as the 1 seed. So I helped everybody except for the Heat, I guess. And that was the biggest trade. They'll be there next year. Maybe. Hopefully. For them. I mean, it don't matter to me. They already accepted the trade. But hold on. Hold on. Why the Knicks in the hold on. How are the Knicks in the championship right now? Did they do something the Knicks? This is a championship quality team? Did they secretly win free agency? They're going against the Nuggets. The Nuggets are probably going to win. Oh my God, bro. The Knicks made it to the finals. And we're 2 games away from winning. Jokic put up crazy numbers in the finals. But all right, off-season time, this is where things go down for us the most. Let's change some rules real quick. All right, so of course we did the rule where the 3 teams have the same chances of the first overall pick. So we did end up with the worst record in the league. And then we also potentially have that 6th overall pick from the Heat. And we end up with the 4th pick and the 9th pick. That's trash. Why does every time I do one of these and I have the highest odds, I end up with the 4th pick? I always fall. Always. But we have 4 and 9 in the 2nd round 21st pick from the Suns. Let's see what 4 can get us. I did load in a 2020 draft class, which I've played with before, and a lot of them sent. Oh, this guy. This guy's projected to be the 1st pick, and he failed. His ceiling is Antonio Davis. That's not good. RJ Hampton's ceiling is Spud Webb. That makes no sense considering Spud Webb's like a foot shorter than him. My controller died. Give me a minute. Okay, controller's here. So we don't need another point guard. We have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I'm pretty sure he's our point guard of the future. So we're going to go James Wiseman. Welcome to the team from Memphis 71242. We're going to send him to potential camp. So his ceiling is not Antonio Davis, I think it said. And RJ's still here. I think we have to pick him now. He's 6'5". He can run the 2. Jeremiah Robinson Earl. I've never heard of him before. Jeremiah Robinson Earl. I think we have to go RJ here. We have to. And then he can run shooting guard for us. And then we have that 2nd round pick. I think we just took 2 huge dubs in the draft. He ended up being the 9th pick, and then we'll get this guy. He ended up being the 9th pick. I almost selected him at 4. We don't need Steven Adams anymore. So let's see what the trade market is for Steven Adams at this point. We get another young guy from the Bulls. Oh, is that the Bulls? The Bucks, I'm sorry. I saw Robert Lopez and immediately thought about Bulls, but he didn't re-sign. I forgot. We're not giving up a 1st round pick for that. None of these trades make sense for me right now, so it looks like Steven Adams will be on the team for the foreseeable future. And LaMelo went 1st overall to the Bulls, by the way. If you were wondering who went 1st, it was LaMelo to the Bulls. So, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Terrence Ferguson, and Diallo, we want all of y'all back on the team next year. Keep those young players in just because we may trade them later for a star, you know. Those young players and all those 1st round picks we have, you never know. But this year's free agency is not very good. As you can see, the best player is Mike Conley. Compared to last year, they had Kevin Durant, you know, all those big guys. Not that great. Gallinari's probably going to go back to the Celtics. We don't have money, which is understandable at this point. And we don't even really need to sign anybody. If anything, we want to try to steal one of those restricted free agents. In order to do that, we do need to get off Steven Adams' contract, man. $25 million a year is a lot of money for Steven Adams. He just had a career year. Somebody, just give me some picks. That's what we're here for. So I'm going to try to trade him to the Kings. Would they give me a top 3 protected first? They want a lottery protected from us. They want to give us Corey Joe. I don't want Corey Joe's contract. So instead, give us back one of y'all future 1st round picks that don't mean as much to y'all. There it is. I sent Steven Adams to a good situation. He's playing for the Kings now. I'm going to show you their team. We felt good about him. Now he's their best player tactically, but y'all know De'Aaron Fox and Marvin Bagley's overall going to go up. So their squad is looking pretty nice. Y'all can keep Corey Joe. But now I think we have the money potentially to try to steal some restricted free agents. Okay, not some high-tier restricted free agents, but we can offer some restricted free agents some deals here. So here we are, player progression. Now Justice Winslow is our best player. I'm going to need him to start taking more shots. See, I mean, he had a good season for us. Don't get me wrong, but I need him to take more shots now. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander jumps up 5. Gordon Hayward is still getting better, which is cool. James Wiseman's probably going to have a very good rookie season. I'm just trying to see the future a little bit. Schroeder's still here. Terrence Ferguson gets better. We brought in Kenneth Faried just to be a backup, so I don't care about his overall dropping. And then some roster fillers. So this next year's team is not going to be very good, which is a good thing. And I'll explain to you why. Just because we can get those first round picks and we turn those into stars. So right now, I think we have a very decent base for a resetted team. But as sooner rather than later, we're going to have to start turning that good base into production. So I'm trying to pull off this deal to bring in Miles Turner and TJ Warren. Lottery protected pick from Philly, and then that Sacramento Kings pick we got. And there's the deal. So Miles Turner is now going to be our starting power forward. The way a team like OKC is going to rebuild is from drafting well and making trades. Obviously, because it's not like we're going to sign a big name free agent here. So we have to draft well and make trades. So that trade makes us so much better defensively. This is what our team is looking like. I think I'm just going to officially move over RJ to a shooting guard. Does his overall drop? It doesn't. So we're going to make him a shooting guard and then make a secondary position of point guard because we still have Dennis Schroeder. I'm not saying this team is a playoff team, but I wouldn't be surprised if we surprised the world with Justice Winslow taking the big step he did. Hopefully we can have him score the ball more. And then our bench is good too. TJ Warren, Dennis Schroeder, Terrence Ferguson, Kenneth Faried, Hamidou Diallo. Can we sneak in as the 8th seed? It's a possibility, baby. It's up in the air. Oh, first we have to figure out the system that fixes us. 3.5 stars for grit and grind. And I guess that's how we're doing things. Everything else is 3.5 stars. So I think I'm going to make the rookie the first option, Justice Winslow the second option. Where's Justice Winslow? Oh, Justice Winslow's there. The second option. And then the other rookie, the third option, because again, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he's not really a scoring point guard. He more does everything else. So this is how we working. I'll be back. Jokic won MVP, so he won Finals MVP last year, then regular season MVP this year. Oh, you know the whole thing about me saying, could this team be a playoff team? 30 wins, so that's the way things went for me. And Brad Stevens won Coach of the Year again. We sucked, and it makes sense. We're still very young. I don't know why I tried to jump the gun trying to say we could make the playoffs, but RJ had a very good rookie season as well as James. As you saw, he won Rookie of the Year. And I think the main problem with this team right now is that we lack actual, scores. Just Winslow's cool, right? He had another good year, but he's never going to be like a 20-point per game scorer. We need that 25-point per game scorer somehow. The Miami Heat didn't make the playoffs again, by the way. So, yikes, I guess. But the Clippers and the Lakers may meet each other in the second round. Nope, they both got eliminated. Every time I've done a video with this Lakers team with Anthony Davis and LeBron James, they never do much, bro. They never do much. And then the one time they did make the finals, they went up against me, GM of the year, the best GM ever, and they lost. The Rockets are in the finals, finally going against the Raptors. Hold on. Can the Raptors do it without Kawhi? They did it without Kawhi, and it was Siakam averaging 26. Let's see what the rest of that team looking like. Oh, my God. Oh my God, can you imagine? This team is not great. Somehow they got Grant Williams. Somehow. He should be a part of the Boston Celtics, right? Isn't that where he plays? But somehow this team made it happen without Kawhi. Shout out to Toronto. But all right, it's time for me again to go and try to win the lottery because, again, we sucked. I don't know how bad. Were we the worst team in the league? We were not the worst team in the league. But that Miami team was one of the worst. So that could end up being a top 5 pick. Or it will end up being a top 5 pick. And then our pick, where are we? Why does OKC have our pick this year? Oh, no, the 76 have our pick this year? We end up with the 2nd pick. And then that 6th pick that would have been ours is in Philly. I don't know what that trade was. But regardless, we have the 2nd overall pick. And y'all, I think it's time for us to try to hit a splash. So we have to find a team that is potentially selling a guy that I know can average 20 for us. Why is Kawhi a shooting guard right now? I'm so confused with this roster I'm using. It's not my personal roster. It's a roster I downloaded from the PlayStation Share. But we need to find a scoring guy. Who is the worst team in the league this year? You know, that's how I be looking at it. That's how I find out the teams that are selling. Ooh, the worst team in the league was the Minnesota Timberwolves. And you know who's just sitting there at 25 rotten? Karl-Anthony Towns. Who else? The Charlotte Hornets don't have anything I would want. The Miami Heat still ended up being trash, but we're not trading back for Russell Westbrook. The Magic don't have anything. I think we're gonna try to trade for Cat. We're gonna try to. Him and James Wiseman can play together. I would prefer to have like a small forward. Like D-Book is only averaging 20 right. Not only 20 would be the best on our team, but I don't know if they'd be willing to trade us him. They sucked again this year. Let's see. Let's see what his trade value is. Devin Booker, 4-star. That's not impossible. We're gonna try to trade for Devin Booker. $30 million a year is tough to match, but we can potentially get him. So the real question is, if we did trade for Devin Booker, can we run him as small forward? He's 6'6". I know that's like not his natural position, but that's where we would need him. This is about to be very interesting. Okay, we have to make up 30 million, but I think we actually have cap because you see all these expiring contracts, so that's cool. We'll give y'all TJ Warren back, which is already like a good trade. They want our first round pick this year, and they'll also give us Harrison Barnes. They want our first round pick this year, and they'll give us Harrison Barnes. All right, that's interesting. That's an interesting deal, but I'd rather give you next year's pick and then next year's pick after that. And then we'll also, to sweeten the deal just a little bit. Oh, we don't have much to give. I don't want to give up Justice, Myers, James, or RJ. But everything else is expiring. So in order to make this deal happen, we have to just throw in a bunch of picks. Oh, 2 first-round picks, TJ Warren, and a second. Devin Booker, welcome to the team, my guy. So with the Devin Booker trade, I'm guessing we're going to have RJ come off our bench because he's only going to go into year 2. So I don't feel bad with sliding him to the bench. That's dope because we also still have the 2nd overall pick, which we could trade. What's this draft class looking like? So the best guy in the draft is a center, more point guards. Let's see if we can just trade this pick, man. We don't really need it. We don't need this first round pick. 2nd overall pick from the Miami Heat. What is the best deal on the table for us? We can trade up to the 1st pick. I don't want to do that. We can legitimately fill out our roster this year. We could get Finals MVP Pascal Siakam. None of these trades are very interesting to me, which means that I'm going to have to build it myself. Point guard position, we're cool. Shooting guard, we're good. Small forward, like we don't necessarily need anything, but if we want to turn Miles Leonard to a star power forward, we might be able to. Actually, we definitely should be able to. So who's the best power forward available? The Heat are selling. God, that just didn't work out for their favor. Their team looks good, though. Look at this roster, bro. How is this team not winning? How's this team only winning 22 games? Russell Westbrook, I think that's Anthony Edwards, Jimmy, Bam Adebayo, Kelly Olynyk. And then you also have Tyler Hero coming off the bench with Dion Waiters, Fred VanVleet, KZ Okpala. This team's not making the playoffs somehow. It's a conflict between Jimmy Butler and I don't know, dog. They both only average 17 points per game this year. They might be declining. But what else team is selling? The Magic, they don't have anything I want. The Pacers, we already did a deal with the Pacers. I don't want anything from the Pistons. Somehow the Pistons got back Chris Middleton. The Suns, we just did a deal with the Suns. Yep, it's gonna be Karl-Anthony Towns, man. It's gotta be Karl-Anthony Towns. He's got 4.5-star value. We'll give you Miles Turner, the 2nd overall pick. And we still have so many picks. This Miami Heat pick is gonna be good too because they suck. And then we'll also give you this Clippers pick. Okay. Do y'all see where the video started to get a little bit unrealistic? Did y'all see that turn? Oh, we have Karl-Anthony Towns on the team. Now, Karl-Anthony Towns and James Wiseman are on the same roster. I'm going to pull Karl-Anthony Towns to power forward because he's 7 foot. He can stretch the floor. He can run power forward. So now D-Book and Karl-Anthony Towns, homies, are playing together and are like our squad a lot now. We don't even need to go to the draft because we gave away our 2nd overall pick. Congratulations to the Timberwolves for they hit the reset button too with Jarrett Culver. I don't know why that team is selling. They just suck. Next, we're going to bring back Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. That is no surprise. We'll bring back, ooh, yeah, that guy whose name I'm not trying to pronounce. And then this free agency class is not going to be good either because it would have Giannis in it, but I think he just signed an extension, so Giannis is not here, and we don't have money to do anything anyway. But our team is looking like this. We need a backup point guard, but Shai is getting better. We should see Devin Booker get better, but even if he doesn't, that's still fine. He's basically a 90 overall. We need a backup small forward, a backup power. Oh, we just need backups. All right, we can do that. All right, so free agency is pretty much over. We're going to have Terrence Ferguson and Jaime come back, of course, because nobody offered them anything, so they're coming off our bench. Karl-Anthony Towns, Devin Booker, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Oh, my God, we're stacked and we're ready to fight. We brought in Yogi Ferrell and Joe Ingles for those backup positions, and we also brought in A.J. Hammonds, who I think... maybe he didn't. I thought once upon a time he played for OKC, but apparently not. And lastly, we're going to go to training camp. We're going to make sure everybody's free throws are up a little bit. And we're going to go into the regular season, destroy some teams, and hopefully bring the first championship to OKC. Because, you know, they had one in Seattle. But I mean, like, to OKC. I don't know. I don't know when the camera went out. Let's hope it wasn't a very long time. It could have been a year. It literally could have been a year. It could have been a whole video. I really don't know. But future me will find out because I got to edit. But this is what our squad is looking like. As you know, we got a lot of shooting guard minutes and not a lot of big minutes. We're going to give AJ some of those backup center minutes. But that's it. 60-win team. Here we come. I say 60-win team, and we won 60. Exactly 60 because we lost the last game of the season. Here are the awards. Cole Anthony, 6 man of the year, defense player of the year. Coach here went to Fizdale. The Knicks keep getting better, bro. What did the Knicks do? Do they just have the same roster? Because they won coach of the year over our coach, who I don't even know who our coach is anymore. I promise you ain't the same guy. But the Knicks. RJ's just very, very good now. That's what it boils down to. Oh, they got Steven Adams. Hey, look at our guy. We traded him away, and he ended up being on the best team in the league. So we ended up as the 1 seed, as you can probably imagine, with all the big roster changes we had. James Wiseman led us in scoring when, honestly, I thought it was going to be Karl-Anthony Towns. So we had 3 guys average about 20, which is great. RJ averages 14 off our bench. Shai averages 13 with 6 assists. Justice Winslow averages 12, now coming off the bench, but still had a good year. So shout out to Justice. Now, lastly, before we get to Simmons games here, oh, no. Jameis didn't come off our bench. I forgot we traded for Devin Booker and not a small forward. Oh, Rick Carlisle is our coach. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. All right. First round of the playoffs are going against the Portland Trail Blazers. Still have Damian Lillard, CJ, and them. But honestly, I don't think they're a match at all. They're the 8 seed with a 1 seed. They shouldn't even take a game. They took a game. Oh, they took 2. Okay, let's get back to reality, and we do. So we're going against the Denver Nuggets, who won a championship recently, so we cannot just, you know, think we're going to walk over them as we go up 3-0, and we almost walk all over them. Oh, my God, just take one more game. Thank you. We're going against the Clippers. Now, this is the first time the Clippers have made it to the conference finals in this video. And we get to get a little bit of revenge on Paul George for asking for that trade. Speaking of him, he averaged 20 points, 21 points per game this season. Justice Winslow, lock that boy up. Game 1, we lost. And Landry Shamet put up 28 in 18 minutes. All right, that's not happening again. That was a fluke. Game 2, yep. See what I tell you? It's not happening again. What did he put up this game? 0! He's had the game of his career. And that was the only way they taking games from us. That's the only way they taking games from us. Come on, finish this out. Finals, baby. OKC in the finals against Kevin Durant. We get revenge on Paul George for 1 and out. And now Kevin Durant for 1 and out. Hopefully we win this series, though. Game 1, we win. Kyrie put up 40, but it was not enough because D-Book put up 50. Almost a perfect game. Almost a perfect game. And I did round up. I know it was 48. But he almost had a perfect game out here. 15 for 16, baby. He looking for that Finals MVP trophy. Game 2, dubs. This time we had our 2 Twin Towers put up 50 and 33 rebounds together. Devin Booker was 1 for 12 after putting up 40. Then, game 3. He said, I'm coming back. Oh, my God. Karl-Anthony Towns had 25, 20, 9, and 6 blocks. And the last game, hopefully, not the last game. They had to get their 1. Where's Kevin Durant? I don't see him. 19 points is not enough. And we win. Karl-Anthony Towns wins Finals MVP, averaging 22 and 17. They just didn't have the big man to hang. Like, literally, who are their big men right now? Shea in the elimination game put up 28, by the way. Who are their big men? Because I remember we're a couple years down the line, so they probably don't have DeAndre Jordan anymore. Oh, they still have DeAndre Jordan and Jared Allen and Jalen Smith, who was the 7th overall pick. That's the video, though. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm kind of concerned. I don't know how long my camera was out. I'm using a new camera. Can you tell? Am I more beautiful? More clear? Maybe that's the opposite. Maybe I won't look as beautiful. Regardless, I appreciate y'all getting to this point in the video. It's McKinney. Peace.